Hello my celestial friends, I'm Echo, the Saving Sorceress, and it's finally time to make my own mushroom hat. I have been dreaming of this moment my entire life. I'm a huge fan of all the people making the Amanita mushroom hats, you know, the bright red with the white spots. But I don't really have a whole lot of red in my closet, and honestly, I want my mushroom hat to be something I wear. Because who doesn't want to be a mushroom fairy running around the woods wearing a mushroom hat? Like, that's obviously what I want out of my life. That sounds amazing. And I believe I have found the perfect mushroom. I'm definitely going to mispronounce this somewhere, but Cortinarius iodes? The Vivid Violet Court Mushroom. It is gorgeous. It's absolutely perfect for what I want. It's a purple cap and it's got white spots that are sort of like long ovals going down it. And it's got a subtle change in color from the top to the bottom. And even the little gills at the bottom are a purple shade. And then the stem of it sort of goes from a white to a purple as well, and I love it. I love this mushroom. I'm going to use exclusively materials that I already have to make it, so that's a bit of a challenge. I've got a few different fabrics that I'm thinking of using. Something that I might dye. This is a big old bed sheet. I've got some sheer fabric from a skirt that is in really rough condition. So I think it'll be perfect to add a bit of a shiny touch maybe. And a few white fabrics to potentially dye and also to use as the spots. This one actually came off of an old mattress cover. So yeah, I'm really using up stuff that would probably go into the trash otherwise. And speaking of mattresses, I have some pieces of an old foam mattress, and I have some really large pieces too that I can use. And then I've got some aluminum foil. I'm not really sure what for, but I'll probably need it. And then I was really excited to find this piece, because this piece, I think, can be the base of the hat. I'm gonna have to round it out a little bit, but I have good feelings about this piece. So without further ado, I'm gonna put on my crafting glasses and get to crafting a mushroom hat. So here's what I'm thinking of doing for the hat. I sort of want it to have clusters of the white spots at the top and then going down and sort of an ombre effect to the bottom in purple. I will admit I did start working on this a little bit right beforehand because I wanted to make sure I could cut into this and actually make it the right shape. I decided to use this old hat that I have to make the sort of pattern for it. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I just use this hat as the base of the mushroom? That does seem like a good idea. But I have even bigger dreams than this mushroom hat, and one day I will make them, and this hat will be a solid part of that. One day. I used a bunch of clothespins to connect it and cut it to roughly the same shape, which is really helpful because without a model of what a circle looks like, I was not cutting anything near a circle. But now we've got a circle, and I think it's starting to look kind of mushroomy already. Perfect. And next, I want to try making sort of a mold of my head with some tinfoil. Basically, I'm making myself a tinfoil hat. I guess it was bound to happen at some point. But here we go. It does not need to be good. Just a rough idea of a hat shape, I guess. I just want to kind of know what I'm aiming for with this hat. Like, if I set it over this. Ah, yes. Excellent. Wow, when I started the channel, I never really imagined myself making tinfoil hats on the internet. But you know what? Who knows where life takes us, really. I think it's gonna look great, and we're gonna have a mushroom that I can wear out and, you know, do magical things in. I'm gonna enjoy it, okay? I've always wanted this. So what do you think? I think it's looking pretty good. I just have to say, I am so lucky to have found this piece of cardboard in my stash. I mean, hoarding is really super rewarding. Honestly, if you're a crafter of any type, you probably know that if you hold on to weird things, eventually they'll come in handy. This is not helping my problem. But anyway, the hat is going well so far. And I've also lined the inside with the duct tape, which really, duct tape is just a crafter's dream. I don't know that anything really super solid could be done without it. I mean, I even made a dress form with duct tape. Magical, magical tape. But loving what it's looking like so far, and I think it's just feeling good too. And I've got this whole big piece of bedding foam, got in my mouth, that I am going to try to use to build up the hat a little bit. I'm going to cut circles or really donuts out of the bedding foam and sort of stack it up and see if I can make a mushroom shape. Still not sure that the foam is going to work, but all we can do is try and find out what happens. Well, I'm surrounded by a mess. I'm gonna have to get very creative with all this foam. I have a lot of foam, but I want a lot of hat. So it's gonna take some time and it's gonna look like a whole bunch of trash until I cover it with fabric, and hopefully then it will look lovely and sweet and mushroomy. Also, my plan for this fabric is to potentially dye it and also potentially bleach it in different places to get it to have a nice little mushroom pattern, something that looks natural but also is a little bit interesting. I don't want it to be a solid purple or anything, and I'm either going to use this to sew on little dots or possibly glue on little dots, since it's all going to be covered with this sheer fabric. I don't think I need to get really super crazy with how neat it looks. I just want it to look nice in general when it's finished. In the middle of progress, it always looks like a mess. And so that's what I'm just going to tell myself until it magically forms into a mushroom. Okay, so now I've got the mushroom looking like this. I actually decided to take this whole round off because I realized while it fits and I could make the mushroom a little bit puffier with it, it was starting to get really heavy. And I was like, I want to wear this to Renaissance festivals and stuff like that. I really don't want my neck like hurting afterwards and having my head weighed down. Probably will be anyway with something like this, but at least I should give myself a bit of a break. But I think it is looking pretty cute. I did add some stuff near the top to make it a little more curved and a little higher up. And since I have it all clothespinned like this, I can now wear it. I feel so fancy. I think it's just gonna be so cute, especially with a whole little outfit to go with it. I am so excited to put this together. All I ended up using was some foam, a layer of some big bubble wrap just to sort of add more bulk without any more weight, and then I added some pointy foam at the top as well as some aluminum foil for structure so that it really stays in this position and it doesn't tend to dip in the middle or anything. I want a nice rounded mushroom look. It's so squishy. Perfect. I'm just looking forward to having it being a nice huggable mushroom when I'm done. So now I've cut out a circular piece of fabric and I believe this is the one I'm going to use. I'm going to put it on top of here, and I'm hoping that after I bleach it and dye it a little bit, it'll be the right color. And then I cut out another circle of the sheer fabric that I'm going to put over it that will make it a lot closer to what the actual mushroom looks like. Just, you know, add a touch of realism. As much realism as I can give a giant mushroom made of trash that I'm going to put on my head. And I also made a bunch of little white pieces of fabric that I'm going to stick on there as spots. And hopefully after I bleach it and dye it, it won't be a solid shade, so it'll look very much like a gradient, and I think it'll look pretty cool. I've done a few bleach and dye tests on this fabric just to sort of see how it turns out if I do a few different things to it. And I tried different gluing methods. This one's Mod Podge, it's barely hanging on there. This one is sort of a craft glue, and it just doesn't look super good. I feel like it's just kind of spotty. These two at the bottom are glue gun, and I found if I use glue gun in the center of it, it looks terrible. Absolutely not. But if I glue gun the edges really carefully, I think I will get the look that I want. So that's what I'm going to aim for at this point. We'll see what happens. Alright, it's time to bleach this, dye these, and then dye this too. And see if we can get an amazing mushroom out of this. Let's do this. And now it has been bleached and dyed. I am really pleased with how it turned out. I've got the center a lot lighter. I was trying to go for white, but this was as close as it got. I think it's okay. And then the outer edges I dyed a little bit darker than the regular fabric, so that it sort of has a light ombre effect. It's not super solid, but I mean, in nature, you usually don't find things that are super pristine either. It's natural. And then I can put some of the white spots, something like this. And obviously we'll want some white spots that are a little lower too, just to sort of fill out the whole thing. It's gonna be uneven, but it'll still be sort of symmetrical, loosely symmetrical, I guess, just so that it will look like a beautiful, cute little mushroom. So now I have to figure out how to attach all these things together. I don't really know. There's so many tutorials on how to make your own hat online, but everybody makes their own mushroom hat differently. And I'm not really sure where to go next, so there's going to be a lot of experimentation. Probably mostly off camera because I don't know how long that's going to take. It could take hours, days, weeks, maybe, hopefully not. And then I also dyed these strips of white fabric a lovely little shade of the lightest purple. They're going to make perfect gills, and I think it's just going to work out really well. And also I did dye this white shirt a little bit of a very light shade of purple, so I can make a sort of beanie hat that goes inside the mushroom and on top of my hair. So I'm hoping that'll work out. That was not my original intent, but I kind of just figuring this out as I go along. I think that's pretty obvious at this point. I'm going to next experiment with hot gluing the foam to the cardboard because I'm still not entirely sure how I want to attach it to the cardboard permanently. Obviously, I can't keep these lovely clothespins on it. Well, it seems to be pretty secure really quickly. So that's good news. Let's see, did it melt the foam or do anything problematic? I don't think so. Alright, guess I'm hot gluing it. Get right at the very edge and then stick it right over it, sort of. See if it'll hold. Maybe clip it in place just so that it does hold. I feel like even if there are glue strings left over, it's going to be authentic to the whole mushroom experience. Because mushrooms are all sorts of gooey fun. I think it's working out. What do you think? Guess we'll see when we actually remove these, but so far I'm feeling good about it. It's holding! This side has been glued and I'm just getting the very last bit here. Glue gun is the way to go, which shouldn't be a surprise really. It is the crafter's best friend for a reason. It's a mushroom! Very convincing as a mushroom. Okay, I need to make a new interior because my old aluminum foil one is kind of messed up and I want it to be nice and smooth and clean. I way underestimated the amount of tinfoil hats I'd be wearing in this video. Interesting. Well, this is gonna take forever. So far, I have worked on attempting to pleat this. I'm not doing any perfect pleats or anything because I feel like it's natural. Again, it doesn't need to look pristine, it just needs to look cute. And so I'm just trying out the pleats, and I have 4 strips of this, so I'm going to go all the way around with the pleats. And then I used the actual little layout that I made for my beanie making videos earlier this year to make this little piece on the inside that will serve as the little hat part that actually touches my head and makes it comfortable so I don't have, you know, an actual tinfoil hat just getting all up in my hair. So I think this is gonna work out. I hope so, at least. I did tape in a new piece of tinfoil so it looks a lot nicer and it's smoother and not all messed up. So I am crossing my fingers that all of this works. I'm going to keep on pleating it and then I'm going to sort of figure out where all of the top pieces go. And I also need to add the spots to this main piece. So yeah, lots to do still. I'm going to keep at it because trust me, this is not a fun thing to watch with all these little tiny intricate pleats. It's taking forever. But it will be worth it because I will have an amazing mushroom hat at the end of this and I can't wait. So this is what I've got so far for the inside. I'm really excited about it. I now have pleats around the whole thing and I have the rough beanie shape in here. I'm gonna have to sew it up. None of this is sewn yet, but it is prepared to be sewn and I feel like it's a mushroom already. I'm totally sold on it. And I believe I'm going to add some little pieces of lace to use as ribbon to tie it on if I ever need to really make sure that my hat stays secure. I don't know that I'll always need that, but I can always tuck it back up into the hat when I don't need it. But, you know, just in case I want something like that, why not? This is actually just thrilling. It's thrilling making my dreams come true. I mean, I know that mushroom hats aren't for everyone, but they're definitely for me. This is going to be amazing. Underneath all of this, I have got a piece of parchment paper so that it should all peel off pretty easily. I'm trying not to get any of the glue on the foam since I want to be able to remove this so I can place it better and add the second layer over it and also sew it in the right places. I want to have options. And again, nothing needs to be perfect with this project because it's a natural mushroom and it doesn't follow our rules. Perfection means nothing to the mushroom in the forest. It knows it's beautiful just the way it is. Ta-da! I can now move it anywhere. I think it's really cute. and it will make the perfect little mushroom top. And yeah, so the next few steps are getting pretty close to finishing steps. We'll cover it up so that it's got the right shade and a bit of sparkle, some shine. Covers up anything that's a little bit questionable about my gluing. You know, adds a nice finishing touch. And we'll put the bottom part on and then I'll be done. I think most of it will involve sewing and a little bit will involve some more gluing, and that's about it. It's looking so good! Now time to hand sew it to the mushroom base. I can't believe it! I am finally done and I love how it turned out. It is so cute! It makes me feel like a full-on mushroom fairy, just, you know, gallivanting through the woods until I find a mushroom that's just the right size. I think it's just what I wanted. I have always wanted this, and it really is the fulfillment of dreams. I really like how all of the spots turned out. I think it looks really good on here, and I also I like the layering. I think putting the different fabric over it really finishes off the whole thing and makes it look like a mushroom. It makes it look organic, like it is supposed to be like this. And inside, we've got the gills. Every single one of these was hand sewn in, so it took forever. The inside, I love the backwards beanie idea that I used. It worked out perfectly. It's nice and comfortable and soft, and I don't have literal aluminum foil directly on my head and, you know, messing up my hair, which is nice. I'm sure my hair is still a mess, but it's not as bad as it could be. And then I've got this lace tie. Unfortunately, with the lace tie, I did make the mistake of putting it in the wrong place. It's a little too forward, so let me see if I can show you what I mean. Like, I could wear it like this and go, hello! But it's not exactly where I'd like it to be because I want to tie it behind my hair and sort of hold it on without anything that you can see. So I think eventually I'm going to have to tear it out and put it back in again when I want to deal with that journey. So I'm not completely finished, but I'm finished for now, and it's definitely a fully functional hat that I could wear for any occasions where one would need a mushroom hat. I'm sure there's lots of occasions like that, right? It's everything I wanted and more. I'm so excited about it. And it fits perfectly into this room as well. Do you remember this room? Shh, it's a secret. I would love to know what you think. How did I do? Did I pull it off? Would you make your own mushroom hat? And if you would, let me know what type of mushroom you would aim for too. I just think there are so many mushrooms. Far too little time to make mushroom hats. Anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, I would really love it if you'd add a like and subscribe and stick around for more videos like this about crafting and sewing and thrifting and fashion, all with a witchy spin. I will be back soon, so stay tuned, and remember, my celestial friends, save whatever ideas fill you with delight and make them a reality. Be kind to yourself and to the universe, and try to add a little bit of magic wherever possible to your corner of the world. Bye. Who am I? Woo! I need to actually attach the foam to the core board. Also, I feel like I look like a jellyfish, which is delightful, and jellyfish are my favorite animals, so perhaps one day I will add a jellyfish addition to this hat so that I can transform it between mushroom and jellyfish at will. Or make a separate jellyfish hat, you know. That might be something I need. I'm just making a mess over here. I love it. Oh no. And I'm stuck in it. My poor hat. Oh man, cut.